Assalamu alaikum, dear students. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nasima Faruqi and I am an English lecturer. I have been teaching the Federal Board students. I have been teaching language and literature to the Federal Board students for the last 25 years. And in all these years, I have noticed that students have a lot of confusion with grammar concepts, because of which they lose marks in MCQs and subjective paper as well. As all the paper pattern is altogether changed, and almost 75% of the paper in metric and FSC is grammar based. So I have put special effort for all the federal board students to resolve this issue. A very, very big issue they almost face almost every day. So I have prepared different grammar presentations with all the grammar concepts, and especially I have designed practice worksheets. Presentations, grammar presentations you can find anywhere, but the practice worksheet is the main thing, which is going to be very, very helpful for you people to attempt your MCQs paper, your objective paper in your class 9, 10, 11, and 12. Because most of the students, they don't know how to identify the real grammar concept. So these worksheets have been prepared from Wren and Martin and different resource books which are prescribed by your federal board. And apart from that, I have a vast collection of grammar MCQs which I have collected from the last 8 to 10 past papers. All the grammar MCQs we are going to practice, inshallah ta'ala. We are after all the concepts of the grammar. And when you will practice the past papers and you will practice the worksheets with me, you will be able to attempt your MCQs paper as well as your subjective paper with a great competence. If you will join all the lectures regularly, you will be able to attempt and identify all the grammar concepts. The practice worksheets will guarantee 20 out of 20 in your MCQs and a very, very good score in your subjective paper. As my students have been taking 90 plus marks in English, and they have always been taking distinctions in their just exam as well. So I'm very, very happy to announce this news to you people that those who desire to secure 90 plus marks in your exam, they will definitely not going to lose this opportunity at all. Without wasting much time, today we are going to start. Today we are going to start with the main concept, and we are going to start with the main concept of the parts of speech. As you know that the parts of speech, they are the main building blocks of a sentence structure. Until and unless you have all the you have the main just idea, and you have the main concept of all the parts of speech, their concept, their usage, you will be able to have all the whole of the grammar structure, the whole of the sentence structure without any problem at all. So the first part of speech which I have selected today is the noun, which is the most important one. And you know that only the part of speech we don't have to learn, rather we have to learn the types of the parts of speech as well. So now, as in the federal board just exam, very complicated sort of competition is there, very complicated just comparison is there with all the types of the nouns. So you should know all the types one by one with their definitions, with their examples. And in the end of the video, we are going to have a practice worksheet where you will be able to identify all the kinds of nouns one by one. And in that way, you will be able to attempt your paper with a great ease and without any confusion. And this is my main target for all the students, that when they have their MCQs paper, they would not have any problem to locate or identify any grammar concept, because they already have practiced all the concepts with their practice worksheets and with their past papers MCQs. So we are going to start with the concept of the noun today. The main thing, as you can see on the screen, that noun is the most important part of speech, which we are going to just study today. As the definition is telling us that noun is the name of anything, any name we simply give to the things, we give to the people, we give to the persons, we give to the cities, just in order to specify them, just in order to make them different from the other things. So all the things, they have their different nouns. When the things are given their common noun, a common name, so they are called common nouns. And when they are given their particular or specific names, they are called proper nouns. This is the main difference between a proper noun and common nouns. And there are other nouns, there are other types as well, which make them different from one another. So one by one, we are going to discuss all the kinds of nouns today. As you can see on the screen, first of all, we are going to the list of the type of nouns. The first is proper noun, then is common noun, concrete noun, abstract noun, collective noun, compound noun, singular plural noun, and possessive noun. And one more category that is very, very important, which we are going to discuss later, will also be added in this list. So this is the main just list which I have given over here. Now we are going to discuss all these kinds one by one. The first thing which we are going to see over here is concrete noun. Fine. So what is a concrete noun? As you can understand from the name of the category, it is a name, it can be a name of a person, place, or thing that can be perceived by one or more of the senses. This is the main idea. This is the main concept which you have to keep in mind, कि कोई भी चीज, कोई भी पर्सन जिसे हम देख सकते हैं, सुन सकते हैं, सूंघ सकते हैं, whom we can see, we can touch, whom we can smell. So all these things, they can be a person, they can be a place, they can be a thing. They would all become into the category of a concrete noun. All the things, all the persons, those who have their physical properties, which we can touch, which we can locate with any of our five senses, they would be coming into the category of the concrete noun. Like the examples are there, sand, photographs, etc. Then we come to abstract noun. So why I have written abstract noun right after the concrete noun? Because they are antonym to each other. They are opposite to each other. When I talk about concrete noun, I say that all the concrete nouns, they have physical properties. But when I talk about abstract noun, it can be an idea, it can be a feeling, it can be a quality, or it can be a characteristic. It means that all these nouns, they do not have any physical property. They cannot be touched, they cannot be smelt, they cannot be seen, they cannot be located with any of our senses. So this is the reason that they are just called abstract nouns. Now the example is love, fun. You can see in these examples, love and fun, they are just the words, but we cannot just see them, we cannot touch them, they don't have any physical property at all. Then the next category is collective noun. Now, why we have given this noun, this name, collective noun? It means that we are going to have some collection over there. Whenever one word is there, but it is giving us a collection of things. Whenever we have to describe a collection of something, but we have just one to express it, so that will be called a collective noun. It is a word that names a group. It means that there is just one word, but a group of things or group of people or group of things will be there. it will be denoting, it will be expressing a group of something. Like faculty is there, faculty would be expressing a faculty of teachers, team is there, team will be expressing a team of some players or a team of some group members or whatever. So it means that one verb, one word will be there which would be denoting a group of something. Then we come to the other category, and that is the compound noun. It is formed by joining two simple nouns together. So why do we call it a compound noun? Because we have joined two different nouns. One noun is boy and the other noun is friend. When we put these two nouns together, a new word is formed, a new noun is formed, which has two different nouns, but now it has been made one word. So this is the reason it is called a compound noun. Same is the case with the next example. One is ice and the other is land. When we put these two nouns together, a new word is formed, that is Iceland. So we call it a compound noun because it is formed by joining two nouns together. So this is the reason that this is called compound noun. Now we come to the next category, students, and that is a material noun. Now, why do we call it a material noun? Because material noun is the name of a substance from which things are made. So, you know, there are different materials in the world from which we make different things. So, this is the reason that all the material things, all the material words from which some things are made, they are called the material nouns. These are the names of some material from which we make different things like iron is there, gold is there, brass, marble, copper, steel, cotton, silver. These are all the names of the materials from which we make different things. So this is the reason that we have given this category the name of a material noun. Suppose we have a sentence, three sentences over here, and we have to locate the material nouns from the sentences. So plastic is of much use in this sentence. Plastic would be the material noun. Cotton dress is cheap. In this sentence, cotton will be the material noun, and iron is very useful metal. So in this example, iron is the material noun. So this is the reason that these are all the names of the material. Then we come to the next category, and that is countable and non-countable nouns. Girls, you need to, students, you need to be very clear about the countable nouns and non-countable nouns, because later when you will be given the concept of the adverbs and the adjectives and specifically the pronouns, if you are not clear about the countable nouns and the non-countable nouns, it will be very difficult for you to locate the numeral adjectives or other concepts which we are going to study later. So in this regard, you must be very clear about the countable nouns and non-countable nouns. Like you can see from their name, countable means something which can be counted, and non-countable means something which cannot be counted. So it means that countable nouns are related to the number and non-countable nouns are related to the quantity. This is the main thing which you have to keep in mind. One is related to the number and the other is related to the quantity. Like chair, table, bed, these are all the things which we can count, or we can make their plural as well. But non-countable nouns are always related to the quantity, like water, sugar, oil, salt. We cannot make their plural, and they are always singular, but they are always related to the countable nouns. This is the main difference between the countable and non-countable nouns. Now we come to the next category, and that is singular noun and plural noun. So what is the difference between the singular noun and the plural noun? The main difference is that singular means one thing. Singular means single. Singular words come from the word single, and plural means more than one thing. Like I borrow a piece of paper, so paper is singular. My pencil is broken. So these are all the nouns like pencils, when pencil is there, it will be singular. When pencils will be there, it will be plural. So in this way, you have to just differentiate between the singular and plural nouns. Then we come to possessive nouns. It shows ownership. As you can just see from the name of the noun that it is going to show possession. Whenever you have to show possession to the people, you are always going to use a possessive noun. Now the question is that how would you show possession to the thing? So there is always a way to show your possession with some other noun, and that is apostrophe s. Whenever this apostrophe s is just added to the noun, it becomes a possessive noun. And this apostrophe s does have a specific name. Always remember this specific name, and that is sign of possession. Fine. Apostrophe s does have a specific name in this case, and that is a sign of possession. Now you will see that in so many words you see apostrophe s, but sometimes we use apostrophe s just to make the contractions, and sometimes we use apostrophe s just to make it a possessive noun. So now in this case, we are using sign of possession just to make it a possessive noun. This is the main difference between the possessive noun and the apostrophe s. When you will add apostrophe s, or this apostrophe s is called sign of possession, it means that you have made it or you have changed it into a possessive noun. Then we come to the noun gender. Gender is defined as the socially constructed roles and behaviors that a society typically associates with males, females, and non-living things. Now we come to the categories: masculine gender, feminine gender, and neuter gender. Masculine gender is related to the male, feminine gender is related to the female, and neuter gender is related to all the kinds of nouns which do not have any gender at all, like pen, pencil. These are all the nouns which do not continue with any gender at all. So, this is the main difference which we have to learn over here between the gender of the noun. Now we come to the next category. These are the different examples of masculine nouns and feminine nouns. Man, boy, these are all the males, and women, girls, they are simply representing the female member of a species. So this is the reason that they are feminine gender. Then we come to the next category, and that is the most important category, which is a very new category which most of the students do not know, and which is a part of your syllabus in your federal board exam, and that is nouns in apposition. Now, students, you don't have to confuse it with opposition. First of all, you will have to learn the difference between opposition and apposition. Opposition means when two things are opposite to each other, and apposition means when two things are side by side to each other. When two things are standing side by side to each other, that means that they are opposite to each other, and when two things are opposite to each other, they would be in opposition. So today we have to learn the nouns in apposition, and the other name of the nouns in apposition is appositive. In all these videos, I am just going to give all the names of the different categories which can be used over there in your federal board exam, because most of the students, they are not familiar with the other names of the categories, and when the other names are used, they get confused. So in all these videos, we are going to discuss all the names, all the categories which can be used, or which can be all the terminologies which can be used by the examiner over there in the federal board exam. So what are the nouns in apposition, or what are appositive? When one noun follows another noun to describe it, the noun which follows it is called appositive. So what does it mean? We have to learn it from the example. Kabir, comma, a great reformer, comma, was a weaver. Fine. Now you will see that why the teacher is just pronouncing comma and comma. This comma is the most important thing which you have to identify in a sentence. Kabir is a noun. Right after Kabir, a comma is there, and right after comma, a phrase is there. What is that phrase? A great reformer. And then a comma is there, and the rest of the sentence is simply uh, selected, is simply separated by this comma. So Kabir is there, and right after Kabir, a great reformer, phrase is there. So why this phrase, what this phrase is doing in this sentence, this phrase is telling us, or this phrase is describing more about Kabir. This is some phrase which is telling us about Kabir. So whenever we are going to have a noun in the beginning of the sentence, and right after the noun we have a comma, and right after comma a phrase is there which is describing that noun, we are going to call it an appositive phrase, or we are going to call it an appositive. It can be a phrase or it can be a noun as well. Like you can see in the other example, yesterday I met your uncle, comma, the doctor. Now, yesterday I met your uncle, comma, right after uncle. Uncle is a noun, and right after uncle, comma is there, and after comma the doctor is there. It means one noun is uncle and the other noun is doctor, and the other noun is telling us about the noun uncle, which is coming before the other noun. So you have to explain it, you have to understand it with the example that whenever a noun is there in the beginning of the sentence, then comma is there, and then other noun is there or a phrase is there which is describing the first noun. So we are going to call it either the appositive phrase, or we are going to call it, if a noun is there, it will be called noun in apposition or appositive, or if a phrase is there, it will be called an appositive phrase. Now, girls, we are going to have the practice sentences, a very, very important part of this video, which is definitely going to give you a lot of advantage when you will be attempting your paper. So, quickly, we are going to go through the practice worksheet. The crowd was very big. Crowd is denoting a group of people, so crowd is collective noun. Our class consists of 20. Class is again denoting a group of people, so it will be collective. Ravi is a proper noun because it is a specific name given to a noun. Then bravery is there. Bravery doesn't have any physical property, so it is a abstract noun. Cleanliness and godliness, again, they do not have any physical property, so they are again abstract nouns. Voice is a very, very important noun. Most of the students, they get confused that voice, music, comment, or language, or English, Urdu, if these are the languages, they are written over there as a noun, whether they are concrete nouns or abstract nouns. So always remember, students, that voice, music, they are all concrete nouns because they are detected by our sense of hearing. So it means that they are concrete nouns, as we have already discussed that whenever any noun can be detected by any of our five senses, that will be a concrete noun. The ring is made of silver. Ring is a common noun and silver is a material noun. They did not pass any comment. Comment is again an abstract noun because it doesn't have any physical property. She is my maid servant. Maid servant is a compound noun. Ali, the monitor, always stands first. The monitor is a noun in apposition. So I believe that you must have understood and you must have just learned all these concepts very well. If still you have any problem, you can simply discuss it in the comments. Allah Hafiz.